are never boring. You know what I'm saying?
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
DJ's got it going on.
The Afternoon Drive with Aaron Delatorre, live and local.
The book is Modeling Success. You have the question, I have the answers. She is the author. She's got the answers. She's Suzanne Von Schaack, a model, actress, teacher, and spokeswoman, also a certified model maker. Suzanne joins us on the line right now. How are you, Suzanne?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you, Aaron, for having me on and talking about my book, Modeling Success.
I'm so interested in this book because it seems like now this is a more prevalent career path and more viable. A lot of people see this as a potential career for them. But before we get to that, you've lived a full life all over the world, runways in Paris, in Milan. You're in Vogue magazine, Cosmopolitan. You're alongside Dustin Hoffman, James Franco. You even have your own production company. It's a lot of showbiz. But I was reading on your bio, you grew up in anything but. How does someone from Darlington, Wisconsin, even know how to break in and navigate this world?
Well, the truth is you just have to have a dream. I had a dream, and I wanted to be a model. And I used to look at the magazines and think about how could I get there. And believe it or not, there was a school in Madison, Wisconsin called Beautiful People Modeling School. And I got in the car with my mom, and we drove there, and I started at that school and learned the beginnings of runway, print modeling. I actually did my first ad was for New York Magazine, and it was also in the Post. And then I had bigger aspirations. It was like, okay, how do I get from here to, there, like to the big time. So first I went to Florida and with some girlfriends, and I hooked up with a modeling school there that was taking girls to New York for a modeling competition. So I joined them, went for the competition, and at this competition was Eileen Ford, Jerry Ford, Wilhelmina, Stuart Models. I mean, the list went on and on, all of the big agents. Of course, Jerry Ford and Eileen Ford are passed, and so is Wilhelmina. Wilhelmina died very early on. She was quite young, but the agencies are still operating today. So I placed in the competition as a runway model, and I was off and running with the Wilhelmina agency. And, the next thing I knew, I was living in New York and running all around New York on buses and subways and learning my way around. And my big break really came when Givenchy discovered me. He is a well-known Parisian designer, couture designer, and he had come over from Paris to New York City looking for some American models to have in his show. And it was really interesting because the people in Paris and Italy, they run their auditions totally different than in the United States. In the United States, they're very polite. Each girl gets seen, their books get looked at, their portfolios, their pictures. And with him, he was a very tall man. He came out. There were 150 to 200 of us that were just standing in this huge room. And he came out and he looked out over all of us models and he goes, you, and he pointed, you stay, the rest go. And when he pointed to me, I said, did you mean me? And he says, oui, yes.
I'm surprised that he even let you through once you started questioning it, because how do you stand out in a room? Because it seems like you weren't intimidated at any step of the way. How do you stand out when there's 250 beautiful women just in a room and he singles you out?
Well, I have to tell you, I really put some effort into the audition. I dressed like I just came out of a magazine. I had my hair, those days everything was very curly and big, and so I had my hair very big and curly, and I'm blonde, and I'm 5'11", so I was taller than a lot of the girls. That was number one. And some of the girls were 5'9", but even if they put heels on, I had heels on too, so I'm still, I stood out. I'm taller. I have very chiseled cheekbones.
Yeah, I mean, you're beautiful. So, I'm seeing you online right now.
Oh, well, thank you very much. So I don't know. He had a look. He was doing a fall collection, so he really wanted really fair girls. During the spring collections, they're looking for girls with olive complexions. Because the colors look better on olive complexion girls. So depending on what colors he's really using for his collection, depends on the color of hair, the color of skin tone, all of that. But when everybody cleared, there were only 6 of us girls standing. So we were like the chosen few. And then it wasn't long, and I was packing my bags, and I was off to Paris, and all I had to do was walk in his show, and boom, I did all of the other designer shows as well. But he also put me as the opening. To open the show, I walked down with a poodle, and I closed the show. So to open the show and close the show is a very big deal. So I got lucky.
Jeez.
A lot of it is luck.
Yeah. But Suzanne, she's Suzanne Von Schaack. She's model. She's an author. Her new book is Modeling Success. You have the question. I have the answers. But Suzanne, it seems like you really put the work in. I mean, the modeling schools, traveling from here to there. It seems like you paid your dues. I have to wonder, because all of this was pre-internet, do you think it's easier or more difficult for someone to really break through like you did in today's environment when it's so easy for you to just go on Instagram?
Instagram, a lot of people troll that to try to find models to do things for free. The girls that really work and make money are with agencies. It's much more difficult today. When I was modeling, I could go to photographer studios, or I could have my agent make general appointments with me for Smirnoff vodka, to the art directors. I could go to the big companies that had art directors handling campaigns, and they would generally just see models, just to kind of get a feeling for a campaign that they had coming up. You could use your personality because you got to meet them, one-on-one. You don't get to do that anymore. Your picture goes up on the computer screen as a submission. And so let's say there are 2,000 agents in California, in Los Angeles, and they get a submission and they say, we want a girl who's 5'9.5", blonde hair, blue eyes, and she has to be a size 2'4". Well, 2,000 of the agents throw up, they say no more than 3 to 5 people from your agency. Well, you do the counting. 2,000 agents put up 5 girls from their agency. Well, that's, a lot of people that are put up across the computer screen in a thumbnail print picture. That's as big as your picture is. And from that, the casting directors go, pick, or they click on it and see your credits, and then they call you in. So your pictures now are the most important thing that you can have in your toolkit to be a model or an actress, to be honest. Because if you can't get called in to do the reading or to meet with them, you just don't get in, period, because there are no generals anymore. Everything works so fast, very, very fast. So it's much harder today. And that's one of the reasons why, as a model maker, which is what I call myself and also the agents call me, when I do meet girls that have the right image and qualifications, I take them under my wing. I give them classes. And right now, I'm working every day of the week giving classes on FaceTime or Zoom. So I have kids from Oklahoma, Colorado, New York, Orange County. I have Miss Quartz Hill from Lancaster, who just started with me today, who's a beautiful girl. And her name is Kylie Rubin. So some of you around this community may know of her. It was easier when I was doing it because you could get in to see people and use your personality. And now you don't have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, she is Suzanne Von Schaack. The book is Modeling Success. You have the questions. I have the answer. It's a quick read. It's only 128 pages. Who is this book for? Is it for the people that you have the FaceTime interaction with? Is it just for anyone looking to break into the business? Do you have to have experience? Who did you write this for?
I wrote it for everybody who lives wherever, like I did, in a little small town, and has no access to agents or anybody, so that they could have an idea of how to make their journey through the business to get from point A to point B and continue on. I didn't have a roadmap, but I have made one for everybody else. So if you live like I did in a little small farm town of 2,000 people and you have a dream, you can do it too. You can do it. All you have to do is follow and listen, what I have written in my book. I'm accessible if they need training. Like I said, I'm training kids from all over the United States, and they all have these dreams. And actually, now the regional markets, there are more regional markets than there were when I was coming up, like Dallas, Atlanta, Chicago, even Oklahoma has a regional market. Colorado has Fashion Week. There are so many more opportunities now in those areas. So those outer Ondex areas of Colorado, the people can come into Boulder and go to Fashion Week. And the same thing with Texas, with Austin, Texas. They can get into Dallas. So it's much more broad now with fashion and the Fashion Week, so that they can get started. My book was a #1 bestseller in 4 categories on Amazon. So I'm very proud of that. There are a lot of people out there who want to know about the modeling business. And there's a little bit in there about me and the acting business as well, because I didn't just stop with the modeling. Modeling lasts until you're into your 30s, early 30s in New York, and then if you're in a regional market, you can model for longer. But I went into acting, and so I've reinvented myself over and over again. And this last year and a half, before COVID, I wrote, produced, directed, and starred in my own film short, and it won awards all over L.A. in the big film festivals. And the latest one was a film festival in Vegas that ran on Roku during the pandemic, and I was awarded Best Actress in a Short Drama.
Oh, wow. That's huge. Yeah, Roku's huge. Well, Suzanne, it's an incredible story. It's an incredible book. It's modeling success. You have the question. I have the answer. As I said, it's a quick read, only 128 pages. You can get it on Suzanne's website, SuzanneVonSchaack.com. It's also available on Amazon, Thrift Books, Indie Books, and honestly, most places books are sold online. Final question. Any self-care tips? Because especially now, people might be in a funk, especially as we transition out of the pandemic. They've been isolated. They're probably fatigued. What do you do to help boost your self-esteem? Is it a skincare routine? What is it?
Well, I have always taken care of my skin on my own. I go every once in a while for a professional facial. But, yes, if you want to take time for yourself, give yourself a facial. Take a hot bath. My nails during the pandemic, I always had acrylic extensions on my nails. All of a sudden, it was like, why go? They're open, they're closed, and mostly they're closed. So I found at Target these press-on. They've got a little fabric in them, so I press them on and I do my nails. But mostly, you've got to keep up with your exercise. I think one of the things about the pandemic is that people really haven't kept up with their exercise, and they've gained weight. So real quick tip, if you want to lose weight, which most people do.
Yeah, give it to us, please.
All right. So the tip is you eat a full meal over the course of a day. So your body can only digest one thing at a time. So eat protein for lunch. Eat a huge piece of chicken or 2 pieces of chicken. And if you get hungry in between, have a little more chicken up from 12 noon to 6 o'clock. Then you change your food group. Your food group then should go to a carbohydrate, like salad, maybe a little pasta. And then for breakfast, you should have a little protein powder with fruit and, blend it and drink that. And fruit only from the time you wake up in the morning until 12 noon. Then you change your food group to protein, or you could do the carbohydrate. It doesn't really matter, but I usually do the protein from 12 noon to 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, when it's time to have another meal, I do my carbohydrate, and that's usually a huge salad with everything but the kitchen sink in it. And you will lose weight easily because your body is not storing anything as fat. It is using everything, and your tummy only has two enzymes, one to break down carbohydrates, one to break down protein. And then the water-soluble fats are fine with either or. So that's the way your body works. And if you understand how your body works as a machine, you can lose weight really quickly, and it becomes a lifestyle way of eating to maintain it.
She is international model, award-winning actress, model maker, spokeswoman, and more. Suzanne Von Schaack. She has a new book, Modeling Success. You have the questions. I have the answers. It is available on her website, Suzanne Von Schaack. That is SCHAACK.com, SuzanneVonSchaack.com. Also, Modeling Success. You have the questions. I have the answers. Available on Amazon, Thrift Books, Indie Books, and most places books are sold online. Suzanne, you're a busy woman, so I appreciate you making the time and joining us here on the afternoon drive today.
Thank you so much. It was so nice being with you, Aaron. You are a wonderful host, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to take you up on some of those modeling classes later.
Okay.
For sure.
By the way, if anybody does want any online modeling classes, which I'm still giving through the pandemic, they can contact me at 818-324-3673. Again, 818-324-3673. Also on Sundays on Instagram, if everybody looks me up, it's SSCHAACK07, SSCHAACK07. I do Sundays with Suzanne, and it's all modeling tips, and you can tune in and watch the little IGTV and learn.
Beautiful. We will be tuning in, and best of luck to you with the new book, Suzanne. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. All right, have a wonderful day.
You too. It is 4:30, time for national news. Right now, local news. On the other side, stay with us.